Welcome back to my channel. If this is your probably first ever video, I am a certified occupational therapy assistant in the state of New York, and I've been posting like days in my life, specifically geared towards pediatrics. And I've had one or two questions on the process of becoming a COTA, how long I've been a COTA, and the big question is like, how hard is it to actually get into pediatrics? So if this is any interest of you, if you are a prospective OT student, or if you're a COTA now, kind of interested, what field are you in specifically, and how long have you been doing that? If you want to leave that in the comments down below. So to start, I've been a clinician for going on 4 years, and I'm licensed and certified here in the state of New York. So to just briefly give you like a little backstory on the OTA program and kind of what to expect. I believe everybody in the United States, like all the programs have to be like accredited, and we're all certified by the same national board of occupational therapy. So with that being said, like, I would look into junior colleges. I went to a junior college, so typically a junior college is a college that does like 2 years, you get your associates. And from my experience, like across the board, you're gonna have 2 years of prerequisites, and then you're gonna have 2 years in the program. So for example, like my program, you had to do 2 shadowings of a therapist in 2 different settings, and they had to sign off on that. So this is like their little test to see, like, can you find out information that you need? Are you a go-getter? Like, are you gonna call up, like, you have to call up a facility that you have no idea and just be like, hey, my name is Gabby, like, I'm a prospective student, and I was looking at observing, like, do you guys even allow that to happen? So that's what I had to do. I kind of had a leeway because my mom worked in a hospital, and she knew of a therapist, and she was like, yeah, bring her in, have her shadow. And that was inpatient, and shadowing her is when I knew that I loved OT and I wanted to be a therapist. From there, I did hand therapy, and that was really awesome too. Certified hand therapist, and I shadowed her. My program also required me to do an essay based on my shadowing experience and also why I wanted to become a clinician. And then based on your grades, based on you completing your shadowing time and your essay, they kind of start doing interviews, because my program, especially at that time, was very competitive, and they only allowed 25 students into the program. So I did not make it in. And what's funny about that is I also had a letter of recommendation from my first therapist that I shadowed. She wrote me a really nice reference letter, and I went to my guidance counselor and I was like, listen, like, I didn't make it in, like, I don't know like what it is. And he's like, yeah, you know, why don't you go knock on their door and just show initiative and show that you really want to be a therapist, and say, hey, I applied and I didn't make it. Is there anything that I can do to increase my chances? Because I do want to apply when it does open again for the following year. And so the director at that time told me that it's because I didn't complete all my prerequisites, and I was shy of, I think, 2 classes. It was like a silly class like psychology and like life development, and another class. So I completed my prerequisites and I applied again, got the interview, and the interview was tough. They asked a lot of questions, and they're very intimidating people. That's something I'll get into as we talk about the program. This is, again, only my experience. This is what I went through in my program. Everyone's program is going to be different. Everyone's experience is going to be different. I'm sure, you know, people that I went through the program with are probably gonna like say that the program was amazing and they had a great rapport with the director, and this teacher was really nice to them, and they give them leeway and they were accommodating. You might hear different, again, this is my experience. I'm only talking about my experience, so I hope that I don't receive any type of, well, I didn't experience that, or because this is my experience. And it's okay to have a completely different, because we're all different type of people, and I was going through a lot at that time, physically, like medically, and then also in my relationship when I was living with that person. I digress. Anyway, so yeah, the interview part, made it into the program, great. Because I like the material and learning about therapy and learning about OT and what occupation's all about and the activities and just the mental health aspect and just all of the wonderful things about it, I did really well in the program that I managed to stay on the dean's list. Not to say that the courses were not difficult. I'm also not going to compare this program to a nursing program. I'm not, currently my boyfriend's in the physical therapy assistant program. I'm not even going to compare it to that because, and I want to backtrack and talk about, I had a comment that said, I can't find a lot of info on OTA programs around me, or I can't find a lot of info on being a COTA period. If you go on the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, I believe you can type in the state that you live in, you can type in the profession, and it gives you a very broad, again, this is statistics, it'll give you an overview of the profession, everything from job openings to schools, how long is schooling, how much you'll get paid, what are the different categories you can get into as a clinician, because you can work in a hospital, you can work in a clinic, you can work in a school. You're not stuck to just working in one thing. As a teacher, you can only work in a school, right? You can't work in a hospital. As a clinician, we can work in different settings, which is really cool. So definitely check out that website because it gives you a really great overview. I'm gonna mention this. The statistical numbers on that website, it's statistics, right? The numbers in real life are better. So like job opportunity, it's there. There's jobs everywhere. 30 minutes. I can go to the city if I want to, so I don't live that far. So there's jobs out there. Being picky and wanting to specifically be in peds might be a little bit more difficult. The pay is going to be less. You might find a per diem where it's not benefits. You might find something in a nonprofit where it's full-time, you have benefits, but the pay is low. You might find something that's seasonal, so you're gonna find something in the school district, but you're not gonna have employment for those 2 months, so you're gonna have, a side hustle or a backup or some type of per diem work, so you're not missing out on funds during the summertime. So I will say that it's not hard to get into peds, it's just what your pros and cons are. Do you have a family and you want to make more an hour? Then probably you're going to want to be per diem. Chances are you're going to be in a skilled nursing facility. Do you want a family and you want to be on the same schedule as your children? You're going to want to work in a school district. You'll take a pay cut, but you'll have benefits to give your kids. You'll have off when they have off, things like that. Are you a fresh grad and you're living at home and you don't really care how much you get paid, but you want to really pay off your student loans? Then you might want to work at a nonprofit and be in peds. And after 7 years, they forgive your loans and you're living with your parents anyway, so just save money and then you can move out. So it really depends what your pros and cons are. For me, I'm no longer working in pediatrics, and I'm going to make a separate video on why I'm not working in peds because it's a whole thingamabob and I'm not going to get it. I'm already on 16 minutes. So I'm not going to get into it over here, but I am per diem at a skilled nursing facility. So I'm in geriatrics. I'm with the adult population. I am per diem, so my rate is higher. I don't have benefits. I was paying into a life insurance that I'm not paying into anymore because I got injured at work, and so I'm on disability right now, which sucks so bad. I'm hoping to get back before Christmas. So hopefully when I edit this video that I've been working on for weeks, it would have gone up at least before my birthday, which is Veterans Day, November 11th. So that's what we're going to shoot for. So yeah, I'm not working in that. So I don't think you'll see day in the life of a peds COTA anymore. I definitely can still go over a lot of my experiences working there. Things to highlight, I can definitely do that. If you're a student or a prospective student, and you kind of want to know a little bit about the peds world more specifically, my videos kind of just are like a broad overview of kind of what I do from day to day. I don't give in-depth like descriptions of my treatments and why I'm doing them, etc. But if that's something that you're definitely interested in, definitely let me know. That's something that I would definitely be happy to do a video on. But going forward, my content might change. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I don't really see a lot of content about occupational therapy, specifically as an assistant. So I kind of wanted to be like the few that's just like lurking on the internet where you can kind of click and just find some information. So I hope that you have found this video helpful. If you have, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. I'm really not here for like the gain of subscribers or anything like that, but just to know that I kind of helped you out would be great in its own. Yeah, if there's anything else that I can add, I'll probably do like cuts and edits for this video. It might be kind of weird and choppy as long as like all the info is on here. But thanks guys, thanks for watching. And listen, if you're looking into becoming a therapist or whatever it is, all you have to do is just look into the info and start making moves. School is super important. A degree is something that no one can ever take away from you. No one can ever belittle you for. So education is so important. And if you are looking into it, totally do it. It is definitely a great investment into your future. And with that said, have a good day.